they go to their 5-out splits.
Yeah.
They throw it to Jokic. They start running the back screen to a slip.
He's gonna be in the way.
He's gonna be in the way, right? There's a time and place.
Okay, I like that. There's a time and place for the dunker spot.
Time and place.
70-30, 80-20. 70-30.
But on that team,
75-25.
it's a different thing because of Jokic and the court mapping.
Yeah, court mapping, for sure.
There's a play from March 2nd that I love. End game, you know what they're running, 2-man.
Yep, 2 minutes.
Jokic crosses.
Good morning, everyone.
Jamal Murray's got the ball on the left side. They're gonna go
Good morning,
and
YouTube world. I need to come up with a new intro. Ah, I need to come up with a new intro.
he wants with the light in the right corner. They get to the
Hope everybody's having a lovely day.
Jokic. Gordon's doing
Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, full disclosure, I've already taken a bike ride this morning. I've already gotten some groceries this morning. I got some energy drinks. I don't know if you can tell. I'm talking really fast. I got some energy drinks. I got some food. Got some exercise. Moved my body around a little bit. And now I'm sitting down here. For the last couple hours, I've been playing 2K.
Do I help on his
Listening to Lebron and JJ on their podcast. I'm about 4 podcasts in.
and then it's the
I
anticipation.
think I'm on, what episode am I on here?
I saw a stat on Jokic last year. and-
4?
I don't know
Episode
the
4?
Number.
Fascinating stuff, dude. So what I'm planning to do
70%. The free throw line
is
like catching the ball at the free throw line either. This or floaters when he catches in the pocket, like 74%. That's insane. So when he turns and he's going to this, you're thinking, okay, let me try to get a contest. Meanwhile, he has Aaron Superman Gordon
Right.
flying in from the corner.
By the way, give credit to Aaron Gordon because he's figured that out. Part of it out. The reason I don't normally like the dunker spot though is because I think what Gary Payton did and what Ben Simmons did, and to an extent in LA when we ran 5-out, we called it delay. When we ran delay, we would have Ben or Blake at the top and DJ in one of the slots, and then he's screening for off the ball for Jamal, for me, for CP, whatever. It's just harder to guard.
so the plan today is we're gonna run some crates, make a little money, stack our warehouse. We got 100 and something crate warehouse that we're trying to fill up right now. We're gonna spend the week doing that. That's what we're doing this week.
And I've had the worst these quarters we got.
But I have the most fun playing GTA when I have
Okay, that is the dunker spot guy. All right.
when I have a podcast or something on in the background. So we're doing that today. We're going through the LeBron JJ podcast right now, Mind the Game or whatever. I've been meaning to listen to all of them, so we're 3 or 4 in, and I'm enjoying it.
Look at if you look at 1980s, 1990s, right? And you had an ISO on the left wing. This is what you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
There's no 2-9. You're not
No,
coming
no,
over.
you
Like
can't
you're,
move.
yeah,
You
you're
can't move.
literally right there.
Can't
But
move.
in today's NBA, this guy
That
2-9.
all the way over to
Yeah.
9s, all the way, yeah, strong.
But let's say he
Play
just floods all the way.
Yep.
Let's say he floods all the way. This guy moves inside.
Yep.
Okay, so now you're looking at essentially defense, plus the guy.
Yeah. Boxing elbow.
Box and elbow,
On
yeah.
the left wing.
Yep. I hate it.
I hate it. I hate it.
What is your sort of checklist here on this?
Depending on what the clock is.
Okay.
Obviously, if I have more time in the shot clock, then I'm going to rearrange that lineup. Meaning, I'm sorry, not line, alignment. I'm going to rearrange the alignment to make it better for not only me but for the team. I don't like catching on the wing and sitting on the wing and allowing the defender X5 to come over into
Right.
side, clean this up, and just stay there. X4, X3, or X2, get to sit inside the big on the other side. Now you got the box and the elbows.
They get to settle in, yeah.
I'm going to send one of my best shooter on the floor to a strong corner.
Hmm.
Wrong corner. So now, if they want to tilt strong side, I create the 3-on-2. I want to create the 3-on-2.
Interesting.
It'll be very difficult.
So just to be clear on that, you want to create the 3-on-2. So by sending the top guy essentially to the strong
To the
side,
strong
your
corner.
side, you want to now get middle,
Yes.
create a two on the ball. Now you got a
If
3-on-2.
that big wants to stay on the strong side that I was isolating, I got too much room to work with on that side for my teammates.
Hmm.
It's not about for me, it's about creating the advantage on the other side. There's not much advantage when I'm sitting on the wing and I have 4 guys staring at me.
Right.
If it's short clock, I would say obviously my job is to tell the big as being, in the paint and the dunker. You gotta duck in, get to the middle of the rim to make him guard you. So when I do swing, we do have an advantage from the other side, but I don't like that alignment. I'm more of a 3-1 guy. When I have the ball, I like my best shooter in the strong corner, either from the left wing or the right wing. And I like a 3-line assembled on the other side.
You gotta get the flood guy the fuck out of there.
Yeah, fuck out of there. And I like a guy down I know you don't like the dunker, but I like him down. And then a guy in the corner down the slot. But
No, hold on. I will say this. On a left wing or right wing ISO or post up, no problem.
it's good.
Because if no one's at the basket in that spot, if you're the only guy on the side of the court,
Right.
and everybody's around the 3-point line, then everybody can help.
Yeah, everybody can. There's no
You
space
have to
in
put
here.
some pressure on the rim with the dunker in that situation. I'm talking about balls up top, either in the right high quadrant, left high quadrant, or the top.
It's pretty bad space.
Yeah.
I agree. It's pretty bad space, and I agree.
All right. We did the Gore top play. I want to go through 2 more plays.
Nice.
And look at everything.
We'll add these to whatever episode we decide we want to add it to. All right. So the one specific play I want to go through with you is the block in Game 7
Okay.
of 2016. Take me through what proceeded on the offensive end to your mindset in that chase down.
If my mind is serving me right, both teams can score. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Game time. So when you're in the game, it actually feels like it's fucking 25, 30 minutes.
Sure.
We got a green light for collection.
I think it was 89 at the time, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And at that point in time, I felt like Kyrie could get us the best shot. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kyrie drove, got a great look out of a floater. And I'm sitting in the corner by their bench. I'm opposite Kyrie. I'm sitting in the corner by their bench. In my head, I said, if I'm correct with the trajectory of the ball, what I'm seeing, I gotta get my ass back.
Yeah.
Because Iggy's gonna be on the sprint, Steph's gonna be on the sprint, and we're outnumbered. Because I'm below the free throw line, Tristan's below the free throw line, Kyrie's shooting the ball, he's below the free throw line. And all I see is swish. Jail. So I gotta get back. As soon as when the ball is missed, I didn't, if I was to follow my coach's orders, you're supposed to get back on the release. On the release, get back
Interesting.
on the release. I did not get back on the release. I didn't start to actually get back until I actually saw it was a miss. But in my mind, I could see the ball feel like it was gonna be a little long. I just hauled ass, man. And when I'm running, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know who it was that I kind of run around. I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was a Golden State player or one of our guys. I kind of had to run around or move around because I was in the left corner and Iggy side on the right side. But when I'm running, all I'm telling myself, I'm like, swish. Do not foul him. So, you guys, any of my teammates throughout the course of my career or throughout the course of that season, anytime that you see me trailing the play, all I need is a little adjustment from the offensive player, and I promise you I'll track it down. Do not fucking foul.
I promise you I'll go get it. Just do not foul.
If you see me hauling ass,
Right.
just make him, instead of just going in for a layup, make him change it a little bit. Just a little bit. And Switch gets a lot of shit today because of the blunder he had the following year or 2 years later, whatever the fuck it was, of not understanding the time and score, whatever the case may be. He executed that shit to perfection.
Oh, J.R. Smith.
He changed his shot just a little bit, and that's all I asked.
It's interesting because
I went with both hands too, by the way. I was ready.
you hit the rim with your left
I
hand.
was ready for the reverse
Yep.
on the strong side, and I was like, these fucking refs call a goal 10, I might get kicked out of this most important game of my life because it was still over 2 minutes, and you couldn't review back unless it was under 2 minutes. Because I knew I had got it clean. That's all I was saying to myself. I'm getting this shit.
How many of your chase times, by the way, is you do your little run? You know, just saying, bro. I'm not an impressionist. You do your little run, and then it's like a quick burst. You know what I mean? That was different, though. That was like, once you said, okay, I gotta go get this.
That was like, yeah.
I've got
I don't have time.
a little window to get there.
Yeah.
It's different.
Right. The last leg of the fucking 4x1 relay were like the same boat. I was like, I gotta fucking go.
All right, I got one more play for you. Let me pull it up real quick.
We can literally do this shit all day. You have on the Wi-Fi here and use Wi-Fi?
You don't have Wi-Fi?
I already know the fuck is focus, you motherfucker. By the way, you fucked me up.
What happened here? What happened here?
What happened here is I didn't know that your ass could go stop and go like this. What the fuck? I didn't know that you had that in your arsenal.
Oh, when you made him touch grass or touch earth?
Heavy rap. Yeah, that heavy rap.
JJ was going to show him the one play where he made him touch earth. That's funny.
When I say this, like,
I love the fact that you missed it. Thank you. I appreciate
if
it.
I had made that shot,
By the way,
I would have that highlight pinned on every social media account at the
by the way,
very top
this
of
is
my
94-94.
In
It's overtime.
I know.
How'd you
We
miss
won
that?
like 104-98. We won that game.
Y'all won that game?
Yeah.
I turned all the way around.
That was I think that was a lockout year. Yeah, Shane was on the team.
Yeah, Shane was on the team.
Shane was on the team because he guarded me that game. He actually switched. He was on Ryan Anderson.
Yeah, he
switched
did.
right.
Yeah, we
before.
yeah, he did. Yeah,
God,
call
if
for
I had made that shot, man.
Bro.
It's not a highlight. It's not a highlight.
It's not a highlight.
It should not be on YouTube. It should not be on YouTube as
You
a
know why
highlight.
it's on YouTube? Because it was against fucking me. Everything is on YouTube. If it's done against me, no matter if it's a highlight or not, everything.
I'll take half. I'll take like a half credit.
You do know how I create super teams, though, right?
Sure, man.
I'm glad I didn't dive into that. So good.
That was great. All right, we good?
Yeah, it's true. There is a clip out there where JJ Redick made LeBron touch earth, but then he missed the shot right afterwards, the mid-range. He missed his midi, so it's like it's not a good clip.
We can't stop him. This motherfucker, okay, he had his 15-foot shots and shit. Okay, all right, cool. But this motherfucker ain't shit. How does he have 18 points? I said, oh my God, that shit is so funny.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching My Minimum Podcast. If you like it, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you.
I'm on a playlist right now, so I'm just like listening to one after another. I like it'll just run the next episode. I should check to make sure it's doing that,
All
but
right.
I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Okay.
We're all good, baby. How is it? How we looking? Make my mom proud?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ah, fuck you, bitch.
Welcome to episode 5
They got one of their
of
shipments
My
hit on the way
Game
into San
with
Andreas.
LeBron James
Fucking
and
pirates,
JJ
man.
Redick, brought to you by Uninterrupted
I don't want to do this mission.
342 Productions.
So whenever I get that mission, I just
Very
change
special
servers.
Episode. It's a 2-part episode. LeBron and I lay the groundwork for the NBA playoffs.
I hate it.
What makes
I
them
hate it.
different.
I hate that like go scuba dive and cut open the. It's a bullshit mission. Just give me normal crate missions. That one's stupid. I hate that mission.
By LeBron James's high school basketball coach, Coach Keith Dambrot. Coach Dambrot coached for 40 years at the college and high school level. He was the head coach at Central Michigan, Akron, and of course his latest stop, Duquesne, where they made the NCAA tournament and won their first round game. Coach Dambrot is now retiring. Just a fascinating conversation we have with him. Again, this show is about basketball, and
Yeah.
we're going to cover all
We get it.
aspects of basketball.
JJ, we get it. I don't know why he has to do this precursor thing where he like for like 10 minutes he talks into the camera. Like, just get to the LeBron part. We don't need your intro. Someone needs to message JJ like, hey JJ Redick, we don't need your intro on the Mind the Game. Just go right into the podcast.
In game 2, one of your most iconic shots.
What game?
Game 2, 2009 conference finals. Over
Orlando.
I have a question about that play, because that is an example of the off ball movement, catch and shoot three.
Yep.
So, if I remember correctly, Mo was taking it out.
Yep.
Delonte set like a flare screen for Ilgauskas.
Yep.
Right here. I think it was Pavlovich just kind of ran to the ball.
Yep.
And you were over here on this elbow. You actually never got a screen on that play.
No, because I was supposed to. The play was to fake up and go backdoor for the lob, and Turk played it. And Turk played it perfectly.
Okay.
So I faked up, and I tried to go back for the lob, and I said it's not open. It's not open. So I just came to the ball.
And Turk fucked that up.
Yeah.
My only issue on that play.
I didn't even see Richard. He had a hell of a contest.
Yes.
He was guarding the ball.
He was guarding Mo, yeah.
Yeah, he was guarding the ball. I didn't see it until after the fact. I never saw him. But
You
then
only
I
saw Turk.
Only saw Turk.
Do you remember your first playoff game?
My first playoff game, I do.
It's being flown in. Go on.
I was nervous as fuck. That's what I remember.
This was third year?
This was third year.
Third year.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we can look it up and figure out when was the last time the Cavs were in the postseason. But that was just like first year. Okay, I was like sad for myself in my first year. Second year, we missed the playoffs by maybe 1 or 2 games, and it's like, okay, I'm here to like play ball, but I want to make the next step. I got to get this franchise to the postseason. And my third year, we finally made the postseason, and our first game was against Washington at home. I was nervous. My stomach was hurting all goddamn long, all day literally until the ball jumped.
Why do you think, like, what have you reflected on that? Why do you think you were more nervous for that game than any other game?
Well, it's 2 games. My first ever game in Sacramento, and then I didn't want to fucking lay an egg.
I think
Obviously, everybody was watching.
This is not a narrative podcast. I just want to be clear on this. But I think what you're admitting here is that you felt the burden. You felt the pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Pressure. Who's under more pressure?
Yeah, who's pressure? What is pressure? No, I didn't want to lay an egg, man. I was, what, 20 years old. Got the team to the postseason. I don't want to go out there and shit the bed. I was maybe 21, man. But like, I didn't want to shit the bed. First playoff game. You know, look out there's Gilbert Arenas and Antoine Jameson and Caron Butler and those guys. They were
It's a tough team.
playing great ball that year.
Yeah, that was a good Wizards team.
As hell.
There's some dogs on that team.
What'd you have?
32, 11,
32-11-11. He remembers the stat line?
Alright.
Jesus.
In their locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on this. I think it was like 35-7 and 6 or 35-7 and 7 or something.
Well, for the whole series?
For the whole series. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Not bad.
No, not bad. Not bad for the first one.
You've played in a ton of playoff games. Obviously, you've won championships.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that's different about the playoffs and the regular season. What is it? What is different about the playoffs?
In general or for me?
In general.
In general.
We'll get to you specifically.
In general, as you know, as you've played in a lot of postseason games too, one possession can lose you the series. And compared to the regular season, you can get away with some slippage. You can get away. It's 4 or 5 nights. Up and tired. You know, it's a cold ass Tuesday night in Milwaukee. You know, you're like, holy shit. Not this Milwaukee team. I mean, obviously you get up for those guys, but in the postseason, one bad stretch, it could be a a fucking 6-0 run. It could be a turnover here. It could be you didn't top lock JJ when we told you we top locking him all series, and now he's a win.
There you go.
Even if there's times like where you could win a playoff game, and because the way you finished the game, you already lost the second one.
Mm.
You don't let that fucking guy or that person get into a rhythm in the fourth quarter because you decided you didn't want to lock in for 8 to 9 more minutes. And yes, we won the game, but now we may lose the war.
Yeah. The mental side of the playoffs, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Particularly against a really good opponent.
Yeah.
I think it was in episode 1 you said the further you go into playoffs, to win, you have to be a high IQ team.
Yep.
It's obviously emotionally draining because of there is pressure. It's different. You feel more with each win and loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get to 2 losses in a series. You get to 3 losses in a series, an elimination game. You're down 3-2. You've got to go on the road to San Antonio. They won the championship last year. You've got to muster up enough to beat them to get back home.
Yep.
That emotional toll is a lot. The physical toll, of course, playing. But
Right.
to me, like the mental side of it, I think that is a huge separator because oftentimes mental mistakes within a game can lead to a series loss.
For sure.
I think about one I made. I was in Orlando. We were playing in the conference finals against Boston, and I had played a good game. And there was a timeout. Let's say there was 29 seconds. There was a 5 or 6 second difference between shot clock and game clock. And go to the timeout. I know we have a timeout. We get the stop. I get the rebound. First I looked at Stan.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it was his fault.
Right.
I knew there was a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I should have called a timeout. And I looked at him, and he didn't do anything. So then I just instinctively put the ball on the floor, and then he called a timeout.
Yeah, and now you can't advance the ball.
So now we got 3 seconds, and we got to take it out 3/4 court, opposite foul line.
Yep.
And we didn't get a good shot off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we were down.
Yep.
I don't know that we win anyways, but that's an example of like a mental mistake.
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. And this one has bothered me for 4 years. And I'm not throwing this guy under the bus.
Uh-oh.
Because I think his intention was right.
Uh-oh.
2020 playoffs, conference finals. You guys are up 1-0 on Denver. And you're down at the end of the game. You've got the ball underneath the basket.
Yep.
Mason Plumlee checks in the game to guard Anthony Davis.
Yep.
You were on the left elbow. Anthony Davis is on the right elbow. Danny Green makes some cut or whatever. And Anthony Davis runs to the left wing. You never set a pick. In fact, your back was turned to Anthony Davis and Mason Plumlee.
Correct. Because I was just looking at Doe like, give me the ball.
I know. And Mason Plumlee point switched.
Yeah,
Point switched. And Anthony Davis hit the game-winning 3.
Yeah.
Now you're down 2-0. Like, that stuff, the little tiny plays. It's weird because in the playoffs, I would say the little plays get amplified more. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Versus a regular season, you go through 82 games. It doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah. That's why my body language is so bad throughout the regular season. Because I'm trying to gear them up for the postseason. Because they don't understand. Some guys don't understand. Like, it's one play. Like you saying, one play can be the difference between your ass going home and going to Cabo.
We got a green light for collection.
Wherever you going. Or going to Disneyland or Disney World with the trophy in your hand.
Do you think the sort of game within the game of coaches is different? Like, I don't know. Bob Myers maybe didn't originate this, but I know that he said it at some point. There are 82 game players, and then there's 16 game players, right? Do you think that in some ways there are good regular season coaches versus good playoff coaches? Like, how much does coaching matter in the NBA. And
Asking LeBron that, he's had like 12 coaches.
Preparation. Prep. How much prep are you getting going into a series to win? You get out there and you're kind of ready for, everything that's going to be thrown at you. And obviously everybody makes adjustments, and then you got the great players that don't matter what type of fucking game plan you got on them, they're going to exploit it no matter what. But as much as you can be prepared going out for a series, and it changes. That game one is kind of like the filler game. You almost like tell your players, just go out and just fucking play. Like, just go out and play game one. Don't think too much, because if you start thinking too much, now you can't even just be a player no more, because now you're just trying to think the game. But me personally, I want overload.
You want overload.
I want overload. I want all the information, everything, everybody, every individual, every pros and cons, and I don't do that throughout the 82 game regular season. I don't have the time to do that. I don't have the time.
The league has changed a lot with practice time, shoot around time, amount of time you spend in the film room. It just has.
Yeah, it has.
And I was fortunate. I would say fortunate. 5 of my first 6 years I played for Stan. I also played for him my last year in New Orleans. But when you talk about the preparation, it was interesting to me that he prepared for.
I got no way to take down that fucking helicopter.
For a postseason game.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I do. Hold on. I'll just call my helicopter.
We're going live.
What am I thinking?
I remember at the end of shoot rounds, he'd be like, all right, these guys haven't run this play in 5 games. This is an ATO, but they haven't run it in 5 games. I want to be prepared for it. Let's go through it. You guys didn't do it right. Let's go through it again.
That's
right?
the Rouse tree.
100%.
That's the Rouse tree. Supposed the same way.
So when we got, my point is, when we got to the playoffs, it didn't feel any different.
Right, because
when we were prepping for a playoff.
Yeah, for sure. That's supposed the same way. That's the Rouse tree. You come from that Pat Riley tree. That's just, you prepare every day like it's your last, for sure.
You mentioned the word exploitation again. How much mental energy in a playoff series, playoff game, are you spending on exploitation? How to exploit the other team? You personally.
48 minutes. And if we need 53 or 58, the whole game. How can you? Because I'm trying to generate easy buckets. Easy buckets, and I want to get my guys in a rhythm. And how can we exploit the matchups and the players that's on the floor? Sometimes I get a little disrespectful to it as well. Certain guys come on the floor, I'll say it right on the free throw line while we're shooting the free throw, they're shooting the free throw. Yo, we putting him into action. Thumb down him.
Yeah.
I want him to know that, like, we're going
At
him.
you. Yeah, we're going at you, motherfucker. You're the weak link.
I'm glad I never played against you in the postseason. Well, I guess I did. 9 minutes.
9 minutes of game 2 in
2009. I think the other thing for me in playing and in watching is, can you create good offense down the stretch? That's true, of course, in any basketball game.
Yeah.
I think it's harder and harder the further you go in the playoffs.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously the IQ, which I always come to, the IQ from the coaches to the players heighten and get better as you go on and on and on and on. And once the players get better too as well, I feel like being able to execute. Certain guys are able to execute better than others and teams, or whatever the case may be, because nothing bothers them in the pressure moments. Sometimes the lights are too bright for certain individuals.
Yeah. True.
True. I would say this though. Here's the thing. It's a fair point. I'm not disagreeing. For my career, I think I shot 41% in the regular season from 3. For my career in the playoffs, I think I shot over 37%.
Yeah, but that's not because of the pressure.
No. But hold on. Oftentimes, our opinion on things are shaped by our own experience. Is that fair?
That's fair.
You and I have had different experiences as basketball
Let
players.
me hear your
right?
experience.
So So later on in my career, pretty much once I got to LA and was like starter and third or fourth option on offense,
Established a little bit, yeah.
you get to the playoffs, they treat you like a first option.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they've come up with a very specific game plan. The same team for game 1, game 2, game 3, through game 7.
Yeah.
They've come up with a specific game plan for you. So Utah
Slow you
Jazz
down.
2017.
Yeah.
We are going to top lock him as soon as he crosses half court. I mean, Doc Rivers said to me after game 1, he said, "This is not your series. I need you to stand in the corner." Right? A terrible
What a horrible thing to say to a guy.
in my
This will be your series. Go ahead and stand in the corner.
playing career,
What?
when I was like actually a player, not like a bench guy, but like it was the worst series of my career. But he's like, "You gotta go stand in the corner." They're literally, we're playing 4-on-4 without you. Like, right? The closeouts. So if I do create separation, or if you do make a mistake in the kick, the closeouts are different in the playoffs.
Yes.
So my catch and shoot time to get a clean release is different.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses.
No,
I'm
it's the
just
truth.
telling you
It is the truth.
what I experienced.
So do you think because of that?
By the 37% is not horrible.
No, hell
No,
It's
no.
not
dude.
good. It's not good for me.
Come
I
on.
mean, for you,
So
it's not.
it's
It's
terrible.
For you,
It's terrible.
That's terrible
It's
for you.
terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible for you.
It's terrible.
I mean, for the average guy,
I'm embarrassed.
they will fucking.
I'm embarrassed.
They might get a max contract over there. But for you, you should be. That's why I believe certain guys once the postseason start, because they've been guarded a certain way for September to mid-April.
Yeah.
A certain
Yeah.
way. You know, you have certain games that gets circled on the calendar that certain coaches get up for, certain players get up for. But at the end of the day, you've been guarded a certain way, and then in the postseason, like you said, the closeouts are different. The preparation is different. Guys are they're
Fuck, I hate this.
to do what you do best because
Now I gotta leave lobby again. I hate that bitch's mission, dude. Why? Why did they put that mission? Go swimming and scuba diving and fucking. I'm not gonna do that. Quit.
If I'm playing the
I'm not doing that
you
fucking
gotta
10-step
deal
mission
with
for
it.
one fucking crate. I'm trying to run crates here, you fucking bitch!
You gotta deal
I'm
with
sick of that.
You gotta
Sorry.
deal with Jamal coming off the bench.
God, that's an annoying mission, though. Why is it in the mission queue? It's random. It just happens randomly. But fuck, when that's in the mission queue, it makes me furious.
If you're getting 5 or
I hate it.
Fuck making 5 or 6 threes. If
I
Jay
hate
was
it.
Shooting 5 or 6 threes, we're gonna lose.
The Spurs series in 15.
Fuck, I hate that mission.
Dude, right, we come out game 1.
It's so annoying.
LA. We've got the 3 seed, they got the 6 seed, even though we have the same.
Drive halfway across the map. Grab scuba gear. Drive halfway across the map. Fucking grab, whatever the backpack. Okay, cool. Drive halfway. Go up under the water, out on the ocean. Swim around for 20 minutes to grab bullshit.
Why are you guarding me?
And for, I don't remember, maybe the first.
Drive the bullshit over to the fucking place and grab your one crate. Like what? No, dude. I'm not wasting that time.
I think it was I know game 7, Danny was on me. And at the end of the series.
Fuck out of here, bro.
And like, I didn't have a great series, but I had big moments in the series. And at the end of the series, Chip England came up to me. He was like, "Man, our entire thing was like, we can't allow you to get off.
See, I wasn't
We
even
through
a
the
part of that.
kitchen sink to you."
Yeah, I wasn't even a part of it. I've seen Pop in the postseason. I've played against him multiple times in finals appearances. There was one time where he called a timeout with like 11 minutes and 52 seconds left in the first quarter because a guy on our team got off a 3.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they made the damn 3, but he called a timeout right away. Got on Danny Green. What the fuck? Danny Green got on his ass, took him out, brought him back in. But obviously they had something in place.
Hey,
And
listen, I got a good one. Big oil on border just got a shipment hit by pirates.
Two last things.
I'm not going scuba diving. Sorry, not happening.
And then I want to actually get your perspective on something. I think what's
Let's quit to the main menu.
different
Jump
about
back in.
the playoffs.
There's got to be a way to get around that mission. I don't want to do it. It's drive halfway across the map, grab scuba gear, drive halfway over there, swim halfway under the fucking map. It's a nonsense 20-minute waste of time. I'm not doing it.
They may have figured something out,
Yep.
right? I think what's different is
They need to take it out of the game.
if you make that adjustment, with
It's
6 minutes
infuriatingly
left,
annoying. I hate it.
and you come back, still lose the game. The next night,
I
you might be
fucking
playing
hate
Memphis.
it.
The next
Get it out of
night,
the
you might be
game.
Playing Oklahoma City. The next night, you might be playing Portland.
Right.
So you might have to wait 2 months.
Right.
In the playoffs, you make an adjustment. You feel like you can exploit something. It's the same damn team.
Same damn
the next
team,
night or
same
a day later.
personnel. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You figure.
And so that's where you see, like Dallas in 11. You remember JJ Barea against the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, they JJ and Dirk can pick and roll. They can't stop that.
Yep.
We're just going to exploit that over and over. What's your perspective on luck in the playoffs?
Needed.
Give me an example.
The biggest example of like luck in the postseason.
In your experience.
Oh, in my experience. Trying to think of my championship runs. I mean, I was on the team. That's the luck, right? I
All right,
think
LeBron.
off the top of my head, but no, seriously, like, you know, you could be a great team, but you need a little luck. You need the ball to bounce your way sometimes. You know, you need a certain player on the opposing team get in foul trouble. You know, it's just, I don't know. I mean, off the top of my head, I started to think of like, what unfortunately what happened with Kawhi with the Zaza Pachulia thing. You know, the Spurs
They were good.
they were fucking good,
Yeah.
and they were handling the shit out of Golden State up until that point. I think they were maybe up. I don't know off the top of my head. We can always look it up.
Yeah.
They were up 17.
Yeah.
You know, and they were very fucking good. And you know, you get Kawhi go down with the ankle, and it's like, oh shit, the whole thing changes. It's you know, like I don't know off the top of my head as far as my experience, but luck. I want to say it's always unique. Yes, you need some luck for sure. You definitely do.
I think it goes back to where we kind of started this with the one play, where a lucky bounce, an unlucky bounce, a call, a guy reacting to something, 2016,
Yeah.
an injury, right? A play, a moment,
moment,
right?
yeah, for sure.
And it's not. I think luck maybe is the wrong word,
It's
but
not
it's
though.
like an inflection point almost of like someone gets hurt.
That can
This
change
shot.
the trajectory,
Yes.
the trajectory of what's to,
All right.
what's to come. I mean, you look at, was it the 0-1 Lakers Kings? I think that was game 5 or 6 maybe.
Oh, when the refs threw the
Tip off,
series? Yeah.
Shot Bob.
Yeah.
Like,
I think Kobe missed a floater over Doug Christie, I think.
and then Shaq gets the tip out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's driving.
Vlade
Yeah, exactly.
and
Tipped
it
it
was
out.
right
Like,
right to Robert Horry.
like if you clean glass on that, that's the game.
Yeah.
And then like, how many times a ball gets batted right into one of the biggest clutch players in NBA history at the top of the key, and he just at the end of the game, bang bang. Yeah, that's some luck.
There's some luck to that.
There's some luck.
Complete transparency, we actually got up and sat back down because we had to say this. Game 6,
I don't know how I forgot.
Ray
about
Allen's 3.
that. Yeah.
The sequence of events here
Yeah.
True.
that led up to that.
That's luck. There's some luck there.
The first thing that comes to mind is that, Pop had took Timmy D out.
Yeah.
And I think because, they could probably looking to switch everything because we needed threes. So everything was going to be on the perimeter. I had literally just made 1 3 before that. And we ran one of our plays that we've been practicing all year where I would, come and set the pick. Like we just kind of like we drew up on the whiteboard. I would flare over the top and then come back. And I missed that one. And who knows if Timmy was on the floor? Does he clean glass? He's cleaned glass a lot in his career. But Bosh is able to, get the rebound over Manu. Manu kind of falls down a little bit. He's kind of on the back, he cleans glass, and then Ray backpedals. Doesn't even look at the line. What if he steps on the line?
No, he practices
What
that.
if he steps on the baseline?
What if his toes on the line?
What if his toes on the
Yeah.
line? There's a lot of preparation because I watch Ray do that every day, prep
Yeah.
like that. But I believe there's some luck to that too.
The thing I always think about that play, and this is going to sound weird and it's going to make me look bad,
Uh-oh.
but I will take it. Manu was such a fucking psychotic competitor. I think about him going for that rebound.
Yeah, he could have been guarding
That
Ray.
situation, saw the ball bounce. And this is not revisionist history. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm guarding Ray Allen. I'm staying at home. But Manu is Manu.
And he wants that rebound.
He wanted to tip it out.
Yep.
He wanted to close the game out, win a championship. Like, I'm not knocking what he did.
No, for sure. Yeah.
And had he not fallen, it wouldn't even have mattered.
Right.
But he's such a competitor. He went for it, and he fell.
He failed,
and that was all that Ray needed.
That's all he needed. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm soft.
No, you stay on the best shooter in the history of the league. Like, other than Steph, the only, like, the second best shooter to ever play basketball, you'd stick a body on him. Why are you chasing a rebound? I would yell at Manu after that game. I mean, they lost the championship, so, like, but yeah, you fucking, bro.
Do you want to handle this?
I've never met this goddamn life. So I don't even. First guest on our show.
First guest.
I don't even know. No, this is my guy, Coach Keith Dan Broughton, man. My high school coach really taught me a lot about how to prep for the game.
Get wrecked. That was a great shot. A great shot.
Shit, I wouldn't be here in this seat right now where I am in my career without him. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. He will say that he's gonna say the same thing about vice versa, no, but like he literally like taught me how to take the game serious. Like seriously, like every day at practice, how to prep, how to prepare. Like, you know, me and Maverick always talk about like our games were so easy because we practiced so fucking hard. He was like, this is gonna be the hardest thing y'all do in this practice court. When we get in the games, it's gonna be easy. And as a player, you don't really believe that shit. When you're 14, 15 years old, you're like, I'm fucking dying out here, man. What are you talking about? The game's gonna be easier. Like the competition he's got, all these. And he was absolutely right. So I learned how to. What I learned from him was how to really prepare for the games before the games ever took place.
What was LeBron like when you coached him? You had him freshman and sophomore year?
I had him as freshman, sophomore. I met him, I think, when he was about 13 and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
He was one of the easiest guys I've ever coached. And so I was a college coach prior to coaching him. And once I saw him, I called some of my friends and I said, you know, I got a guy that I think's one of the best I've seen. And they all kind of laughed at me and they say, oh, you sound like a high school coach now. You know how the high school coach always hypes guys up sometimes, but just easy guy, great teammate, cared about, you know, playing as a team, loved his teammates, played hard. But the biggest thing that jumps out at you is just his innate ability and his ability to learn.
You used the word innate in the first episode. I thought you were full of shit. Glad somebody co-signed it.
Yeah.
When you teach basketball, you just retired. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Congrats on that. Hell of a
You got
career.
a win in the tourney.
Yes, sir.
When you teach basketball, is there a difference in approach between teaching high school kids or college kids?
That's a great question. So I had always been a college coach, so when I had that group, I treated them like college players. And they actually had the brains of above that. And then once I knew LeBron was going to be a pro, because I had 3 NBA guys before him, then I started to treat him like he had to guard Kobe in 4 years.
Right.
So that's really how I treated him. I treated him like a pro.
That's interesting. Did you feel that? Did you not know any different?
No.
I didn't know any different. Yeah, how would he know any different?
I'm just going out there and just like, I'm just bust my ass, and this is the guy he's the head coach, so whatever he says, let's do it. Like, and like we all came together, like me and my high school boys, you know, we all came to St. B for a reason, and we wanted to win. We wanted to win a state championship. We wanted to win.
What's up, Deadly? How's it going, buddy?
I was doing, you know, recruiting.
Happy Thursday?
Shit, recruited me to St. B, but yeah, I just wanted to win. So like, you know,
Yo, Deadly, have you listened to any of these LeBron podcasts, bro? They're pretty good.
Used to, you know, this type of.
They're really basketball heavy, but
You know,
in a good way.
Something different. You know, remember I was telling you in episode 1 how different it is going from, you know, just from grade school to middle school. You know, the intimidation.
What are you doing, brother? You at work or what?
And then going from middle school to high school is even more intimidating. Now you're like being around kids with like beards and like people are driving to school. Like I'm a freshman in high school. I'm riding my bike or one of the coaches picked me up, whatever the case may be. So You know, it was super duper different in a sense of anything else I had been up to that point when I played the game of basketball.
Dude, I've committed the whole day to it so far. I woke up and
I
I
had a little sabbatical, so
got a bike ride in, went and got some groceries and whatnot, got some energy drinks and so on. And then I came home and I was like, all right, I'm gonna grind some crates today. So I was like, what can I listen to in the background? And I was like, oh fuck, I haven't listened to any LeBron podcasts yet. I've been meaning to do it. So I've been listening to all of them. I think I'm on like the fifth or sixth one. They have like his coach in here for this one, which isn't that interesting to me, but
Coming out of a timeout, you drop a play.
there's only two more, but I'll probably watch all of them
Habitually,
or listen to all of them
that's
rather.
what he's supposed to do. As a coach, how do you coach that player?
That's funny because we were just talking about that last night.
I may have got some intel on that.
So really, what you do is you have an assistant coach that is assigned to that guy, and after you draw up the play, he redraws it up, and then tells them again about it. Because there's nothing more frustrating as a coach and even as a player than somebody butchering up plays when you draw it up for them.
LeBron knows this. I coach my son's travel team. It's a 4th grade travel team, 9 and 10-year-olds, and there's not a ton of like opportunities to call time. Like I'll drop the first play. If we have the ball at halftime, I'll drop it up. I think each team is allowed like 3 timeouts, and you know if there's opportunities, I'll draw it up. We have the ball because a lot of times
I'm just kind of like doing boring GTA stuff right now. I'm not checking my businesses or anything.
So it's just like, but it's interesting because I have to.
I'm basically just running crates, which is like kind of tedious, but I just bought a large warehouse. I'm trying to fill up a large warehouse. I've never filled a large warehouse before, so I'm kind of on some. I'm on some like, how long is this going to take type shit. You know, I'm curious to see how long I can actually how long it'll take to fill up a large warehouse. If I'm committed to it, you know, spend a certain amount of hours a day. I'm gonna see how much I could just look on YouTube and find out how much a large warehouse, profit wise.
So, this one's a little complicated.
Fuck.
The shipment's on a ship that may or may not have been hijacked.
Fuck.
You got a good
Annoying. I hate these ones. I hate this one less than the other one, but I hate this one too. But yeah, so I'm just kind of listening to a podcast, grinding away. It's gonna take me a while to fill it up. 111 crate spots, dude. Like my normal medium warehouses are like 40. And those take a long fucking time to fill up. But like this is it's a large warehouse.
But obviously we all of those. And we probably spent more time this year, for instance, just on 5-on-0, just making sure our guys knew every little aspect of it. And you make a great point. You can run a great set, but if you don't execute the screen or the cut or understand how to bump a screen or go tight off of a screen, none of it really matters.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think what you were saying, Jay, I think there's practicing some ATOs is very beneficial to certain teams, but also as a player, sometimes when a coach comes to the timeout and draws something that you haven't seen before, you kind of get like, oh shit, I ain't seen this one before. I'm gonna execute this one to a T because if it works now, we might can bring this back again. Like I want to as a player, you feel good about that. Like, oh, I didn't know you had that one in your bag, coach. So like,
I didn't know you had that one in your bag, coach.
Things that you have a 4th quarter package. You have a ATO. You have SOBs, BOBs that you don't want to run throughout the course of the game. So because if it's a close game, you want to try to catch the defense, sleep in or catch them off guard or whatever the case may be. But and the conversation that we're having throughout the course of a game, you want to kind of have things that's in place that you've kind of practiced, just so guys have some type of mental, knowledge of, okay, this is what we worked on yesterday, or this is what we worked on in shoot around. But it doesn't always happen like that because coaches and players you want to do shit that you want to be able to make in-game adjustments that maybe you didn't have an opportunity to prepare for that earlier that morning, or maybe it is a back-to-back and you didn't really have shoot around. You didn't have an opportunity to really put in, all the stuff that you may have wanted to put in if you had practice day. So I think it's all situational.
Yeah, the reason I bring up the timing thing is because there's certain parts of after timeout plays, when you cut, when you set the screen.
Absolutely.
Like a big part of ATOs is misdirection.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, and so when that misdirection is occurring, that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. The other reason I ask is because Doc was great with this, and Brett Brown was great with this. Is end of game need plays.
Yeah.
So we had need 2 plays,
need 3,
need 3
Yep.
plays,
Yep.
and we would have a package. And by the way, that package would change throughout the season.
Yep.
So if we ran a play a couple times in a need 3 situation,
And it didn't work or
all right,
whatever.
or
let's
even if
tweak
it did, we would
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
we'd have to disguise it,
Yeah,
and then we'd have to
for
practice
sure, yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned something really good. I think, obviously we can't advance the ball in college.
Yes.
So I do think some of your side outs could be plays that you run from the.
I don't have a bow.
Normal set.
Motherfucker.
So the
Oh,
guy
you know what I can do? I can call my heli.
Do the same thing, and then the ability to save plays.
Not
late in
abilities,
the game too.
vehicles.
Like I always
Thank
try
you.
to save 3 or 4 that I like to run late that I haven't run the whole game, or like you said, maybe put them in a closet for 2 or 3 weeks, and then bring them back 2 or 3 weeks later. I like to do that as well.
Based on the guys that you have coached throughout your career, what are the skills that translate and transfer from high school to college, college to the NBA?
Well, I think, there's a lot of guys that have talent, but there's a lot of guys that don't have a good enough brain to play in the NBA. You have to understand the game. You have to understand, what it takes to make the league. For instance, we had the Thomas twins who Lebron knows, that played for us at Eastern Michigan. 1 of 9 twins that played in the NBA, free agent guys. Charles never averaged more than 11 points a game in college, but he had a skill set good enough to be able to play defense, be able to handle the ball enough, and shoot the 3 ball enough to play in the league. And I think a lot of guys think they have to score to play in the league, but you have to be able to guard to play in the league. You have to be able to play a role. You have to be a good role player, because there's not many guys like LeBron. Most of the guys in the NBA, you guys know way more than me, are role players. So you have to be really good at something.
Thanks.
That was a shot at JJ. JJ took that as a shot at him.
Absolutely. You got a clip that I sent your ass the other day. Yeah, exactly.
I would argue everybody's a role player.
That's true.
His role is just to be the guy, right? Luka's role is to be the guy. That's his role. The connotation. There's a difference between definition and connotation, right? The connotation of a role player. Most 19 and 20-year-olds don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a role player.
Yeah, no, I'm a star. Yeah, okay, yeah.
To me is
Sure.
a struggle. And it's interesting you bring up the brain, because I think part of the brain and part of, curious to get your thoughts on this too, part of lasting in the NBA, skill set, talent, size, strength, all that stuff.
Sure.
Super important. Basketball intelligence.
Yep.
Super important. What about emotional intelligence? What about being able to
Yeah.
be a part of a group?
Being mature enough to know your minutes need to go down or up. Or,
Navigate locker room situations.
Yeah. Sure.
Navigate relationships with coaches.
Sure.
Navigate relationships in the training room. I think to some degree that's maybe not equally as important, because you need all the stuff beforehand, but to last in the NBA, you have to have a level of that.
And it goes back to the saying I told you about one of my good friends, Jimmy Iovine, always talks about when the shit gets bigger than the cat, we get rid of the fucking cat. And what he's saying, basically in basketball terms, is a lot of players when they're at their peak of performance, but on the side that you're talking about, they haven't respected authority.
Yeah.
They haven't
They're
come in.
causing problems. True.
But they
True.
were 25, 30, or whatever the case may be.
Kyrie.
The shit.
Kyrie. Yup.
Start to dwindle, and the shit is not as good as the individual anymore. They get rid of the cat, and we see it in our sport. You see it in sports in general. You have to play the game to play the game as well. And at the end of the day, being a good person shouldn't have to just be dedicated to just sports. That's fucking life.
Yeah. True.
Being a good fucking person. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. Okay.
Right.
Having a bad day? Okay, I might be having a bad day. Alright. Yo, you alright? Like shit, like just normal shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm walking to a door and a woman is beside me, no matter if she's a stranger or not, if she's an older woman or younger, like hold the fucking door open.
Yeah.
Why? I don't understand. Why is that such a like? That should be easy. That should be easy.
That's day one.
But
Yeah.
it's not.
Not everybody does.
Professional sports?
I had vets my rookie year that were like, dude, you're coming into the practice facility. When you walk in a room, say hi to everybody. Acknowledge people.
Yeah.
Right? I was in my shit. I wasn't playing. You know, I was
Right.
upset.
And you have to take that into account as well.
No.
But at the end of the day, there is
22. Like I was young, but like, yeah,
I think that helps you last longer in a department that you want to be a part of because you just play the game a little bit. I'm not always telling you to be fake.
No. It's not that.
It's not being fake. It's just being human. Like be a fucking human being. And no matter what else, whatever you do.
That's a fine line between being in the league and not being in the league, right? So when you go 12 to 15 or whatever, right, the coach doesn't really want to be around somebody that's not a good person. Because there's somebody probably just as good as you or close to as good as you that you can play with that probably aren't going to play anyway, right? At that point.
There's a lot of guys I know that I'm friends with that had 9 or 10 year careers that never played more than 10, 11 minutes in a game, never were really an 82 game regular rotation player, but they were great fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And they lasted.
Locker room guys. That makes sense.
Because of this very thing we're talking about.
And if you get that 10th year, you get that pension.
You get that pension.
You get that pension at 10 years. Yup.
It's lifetime. The influence of the game in the NBA,
Okay.
European
I just sent the
basketball.
pickup location across to your.
Yeah.
We maybe had talked about this, and we haven't really like dove into this. It feels like at times when I watch college, there's a big difference between coaches who have embraced what I would call modern basketball concepts versus what I would call antiquated basketball concepts.
Interesting.
Where is college basketball right now with being influenced by either the NBA or EuroLeague or
Sure.
World FIBA competitions, just in terms of X and O strategy?
So clearly, in my mind, the NBA has been influenced by the European basketball. And I feel like college basketball is 2 to 3 years behind the NBA.
It's going to get
The
there.
reason I say that is, for instance, when people started icing the ball screens, that took 2 years before it hit college basketball. And then everybody, to offset the ice, they started going to the elbow handoffs, right, the dribble handoffs. And that took another 2 years before it hit college basketball. So the last thing probably that occurs is the ISOs and finding the elephant in the room, I call it. The guy that can't really
Target
guard.
hunting.
Yeah, that's like LeBron was talking about, pointing it, we're going at him. That's probably the last thing. And the one thing that's different is there's not as many great players in college basketball as there is in the NBA. So it's never going to look exactly the same. But I think the NBA has clearly been ahead of college basketball and will remain to be the driving force of college basketball. It takes coaches a long time to adjust. Like probably when you played some, there was still some motion offense, right? You don't see hardly any of that anymore. Like we used to cover like down screens, back screens, low crosses. Now what we do is we cover ball screens and dribble handoffs and split screens. Like you were talking about. That's all we cover.
NC State was the only team in my 4 years in college, and that was later on after Herb Sendek left, I believe, that iced the pick and roll. Boston College still ran flex when they joined the ACC. Your boy does. Your boy does.
Jesus.
They literally just ran the flex offense.
Al Skinner, right?
And that's all they ran. So yeah, I get the difference between, or the I should say, being behind on things. The one thing I have noticed, particularly this spring in March Madness, is there are some really good coaches that are being creative with non-shooting players, non-spacing players. So the difference, of course, between the NBA and FIBA in college is that you can be in the paint, right? And there are certain players. It's not like the NBA. The NBA is the best of the best. Great college team might have 2 or 3 NBA guys. Of those 2 or 3 guys, maybe one guy has a 10-year career, right? That's just
Right.
the reality.
Yeah, that's the numbers.
There's going to be players on the floor that you don't have to guard, and UConn does this with Danny Hurley. I saw Baylor women's team do this at the end of a game on a need 3 situation. Is you use the non-shooter in the corner. You put the shooter either on the block or on the same side wing, skip pass, either uphill DHO or a DHO to the guy, the person on the block. And Baylor used it to get a game tying 3 to send it into overtime.
Yeah, because then his man can't really help on those handles.
Exactly.
So far away, you have to. I think that's one thing, and I think the other thing is using your shooters as screeners more. You know, both on the ball and off the ball. Back screen, you know, into a down screen or back screen into a ball screen. Just trying to get your shooter involved.
Interesting.
But your idea is a really good one because they're always late. You were talking about being late to the handoff and the ball screen overreaction. That's a good point.
When UConn runs that play with their big guy, there's constant overreaction. They get slips, they get threes.
I mean, you saw it last year. I mean, obviously they're doing it again this year, but Jordan Hawkins got so much action last year over that because they had a non-shooting big out there.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jordan Hawkins is being body, but X4, X5 is guarding a non-shooter. He can't get back up the floor.
I just want to draw one play. I just want to draw one play.
They're not used to being out there either.
Right.
I'm sorry, I got to draw.
It's like a fish out of water.
Because I'm like especially in college where these people guarding non-shooters are literally
Did you see? I mean, I saw. I hate to bring it up, but Illinois went 55 real minutes without scoring a point.
Jesus.
UConn.
55 real minutes.
Close to an hour, 43 minutes without scoring an action.
Yeah, almost an hour. Jesus.
Cheers. Good
All right,
shit.
so like if a team is top blocking a shooter over here, let's say this is fluff. This is
Hold on, they're
This is
doing
like
some visual
4
shit.
minutes
I gotta
going
look at
straight.
it.
Got your 5 over here.
Sorry, guys.
This guy pulled all the way. This is where the ball is. This is what I'm talking about. You set this up with the away screen. This defender jumps into a top block. This guy is just sitting in the paint. You skip past it to the corner. Here's the uphill DHO. Now this guy's going to be late. This guy's out of position because he thinks this is coming. There are ways to get around the spacing issues in
And
college.
and the same thing he was saying, if I'm being top locked, right?
Sorry, I had to look at that. He was doing something on a whiteboard. I know he was.
The wide pin. If I'm the guy that's being top locked, I'm the shooter. I can go underneath, snake it, and set the ball screen on the ball handler. Now my guy's top locked. He can't switch. He can't help. Now the ball handler comes off net.
Yeah.
Because my guy's only worried about me coming off to get a shot.
I used to do that with Joel. Remember our elbow 2 action?
Yeah, absolutely.
I used to do that with
On the
Embiid.
left corner. And a lot of teams would top lock it.
Yeah.
And I would literally
Screen.
just walk my guy up into Joel's
you
man.
screen 2 guys at
Joel
once.
would spin and he'd get a layup.
Yeah, you screen 2 guys at once.
Hmm.
That's good stuff.
Coach, before we let you go, and thanks for being our first guest.
Thanks for having me.
I got a question for you. And I'll ask LeBron this in 2 or 7 years. We're not really sure. What are you going to miss the most about the game of basketball and about being around it every day?
Just think the effect
Good
you
question.
have on people. You know, I think one of the things that I always tried to teach LeBron was you're going to hit some rough moments, but you got to battle through. I think that's the biggest thing is these young people need advice as to how to handle adversity. Because what happens a lot of times is they get bailed out of adversity now. Nobody really teaches them what to do when they hit it. Because we've all been there, right? We've all been in some tough situations. Just when you think things are going great, something happens. If you don't know how to handle it, it's really difficult.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Cheers. We're good.
Interesting episode with the coach, high school coach for LeBron.
Single side and high.
He's so high.
And you put the 1 here because if the 1 or the 2 decides to help on the lob, they're too small.
Yeah, when they start talking X's and O's, like I can follow because the groundwork over the first 2 or 3 episodes of the podcast, they lay it out really simple so that you understand the terminology they're using because they're using like super fast terminology, like X4 and X3 that they're talking power forward, small forward. That's like just how basketball players talk, I guess. There's like a shorthand. So like once you get the first couple episodes of the LeBron podcast, they kind of explain all those shorthands. So then like you're just listening and it's interesting though when they start talking about the X's and O's. I don't know. I could really nerd out on basketball. Like I like a podcast like this where it's a little above my head, where I don't completely understand everything they're talking about, but kind of understand what they're talking about. And like if you're watching the podcast on YouTube, they show clips, like NBA clips or whatever, of the kind of situations they're talking about. So it's a little easier when you can see it. But man, I could, dude, I could nerd out on basketball X's and O's all day long. I fucking love basketball so much.
And yes, this is my favorite episode we have done so far.
Wait, what? This is his favorite one?
For pickup points, high pick and rolls.
Ooh, good.
With which players can
How 3-point shooting changed everything. Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay, hold on.
own evolution as a shooter, and perhaps closest to my heart, we nerd out on all the different catch and shoot sets that teams run to get.
Okay, good. I don't need your intro. Literally a 12-minute intro with just him going, here's what me and LeBron are about to talk about. You don't need it. Get it off your podcast. You don't need it. It's not necessary. Every episode so far, I've skipped past it.
You brought two. Our friend David brought a couple. Thank you for that. I want to talk in this episode about 3-pointers.
Oof, of course you do, JJ. Of course you do, JJ.
Specific actions. I want to get big picture 3-pointers, why it's important, how it's changed, and then get granular with some specific actions that teams run for specific players.
Yep.
I want to start though.
Did I just run a big man? I did, right? I have to this
9
guy.
for 10 from 3.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for the inspiration too.
I wasn't even in town. I was on spring break with my
I
kids.
thought about you the whole time I was in Brooklyn. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Can you describe that state of being?
Uh-oh.
I mean, I guess only a few of us can describe it.
Go to Mirror Park. They're giving me another fucking mission one. I gotta quit again.
In that zone, it's I used to watch this movie back in the day called Major League.
Oh, yeah.
Famous quote off Major League is "Chicks dig the long ball,"
Yes.
and it's a different feeling when you're shooting that 3-ball like that. It's just I don't know, it's a euphoric feeling that's different from catching a lob dunk for myself or getting a zone where you like, okay.
I might have to go collect some safes as well. I gotta go run around and collect some safes. So this is a good opportunity. I'll switch lobbies. See, Lupe. I don't do your missions, bitch. I'm not running your fucking errands, bitch. Eat a dick.
There's a flow state.
Eat an actual dick.
Like when you're shooting
Quit.
threes.
I don't do her missions. Her missions take too long. You take too long, lady. I'm just trying to run crates. I don't need to run over here and then run over there and then run up there. I'm not doing a fucking treasure hunt, bitch.
About that muscle memory, muscle sequencing.
All right, let me run around real quick and grab my safes.
The thing I don't think people understand is like I can shoot, you can shoot 8 threes and make 4, and you're not in the flow state.
Right.
Subsequently, I can shoot 8 threes and make 4 of them and feel like every shot was effortless.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a big difference to me. I remember specific games where I would shoot 6 for 11 from 3 and be like, it didn't feel right tonight.
Why is that? Because I understand exactly what
You
you're
know
saying.
exactly what I'm saying.
Because when you are in that rim of shooting, sometimes it doesn't even feel right and it goes in. You like, what the fuck was that? And you just
What the
you
fuck
just
was
keep
that?
going. Like, it's like, I mean, the other night in Brooklyn, everyone I took a couple threes in Brooklyn that I don't take on a game-to-game basis.
Right corner, gather,
Right corner.
and then the
gather.
left step back gather.
Yeah.
Those are stupid.
Yeah. I was just feeling really good. You know I love New York, man.
Joe Lazula said something the other day, and it was like, it's pertinent to this conversation, I think. He was talking about Al Horford and how one of the reasons Al has had longevity and is still an impactful player is because he has evolved with the game. You think about Al early in his career with Atlanta, he's shooting heavy dose of mid-range.
Yeah.
He's playing.
He's a
drop
Dennis
coverage,
Rodman type guy.
Yep.
Rebounds.
Then he becomes a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He becomes a switch defender.
guy, yep.
He becomes a high post hub.
Yep.
Those years with IT, he was
Yep.
a high post hub.
Yep.
And so, in some ways, the 3-point shooting with you have evolved and adapted
Yep.
with the game.
Yeah.
Has any coach, front office person, analytics person, like on staff, have they ever came to you and talked to you about analytics and shot profile with you?
No.
Never had that discussion.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. LeBron just said, fuck no.
Listen,
Do you know that those discussions are happening though?
Yeah, for sure. Of course they are.
Certain players are told.
Oh yeah, for sure. They do not take those shots
Yes.
anymore. No, because I've always been a very efficient basketball player.
Yeah, fair.
I'm not a guy to go out. And
He's
chase
not out there
the
shooting
shot.
50 times. Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I won't say the best shot because you can never get.
I'm kind of a LeBron hater, but most of the time I agree with that.
I'm always
Yeah.
trying to figure out ways on the floor where I could that possession maybe get the best shot. And sometimes you may have to force one into the shot clock, or you know you may feel like you know in a good rhythm you may force one, whatever the case may be. But I've never been too much of a pull-up jump shooter.
Yeah, he's not a volume shooter. You've never been a volume shooter.
I did a little bit early on in my career. Early in my career, you know. But as I've gotten older, I've been more in the post.
Yeah, well, you have to. You got to evolve into Charles Barkley. I said everything. I said that 8 years ago. I said he's going to end up having to be a Charles Barkley.
To the three-point line over the last few years, where I feel like pretty much unguardable.
I wish I knew what that feeling was like. My second year in Philly. So my first year in Philly, I shot, God, fucking 42 point something percent from three, and average a career high, a measly 17. But I'm very proud of that 17 points a game. And you know, I was a guy. Second half of my career, I had a home base in the off season, so I'd go train, and I wasn't around the team. Then I'd come back right before training camp.
Yep.
When I got back that second year, I had our analytics guy say, I want to meet with you. And he like showed me all these different charts and stats about like if you stop shooting mid-range and start shooting more threes. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, Braun. I was a great mid-range shooter.
Shut up.
And I was told,
Bro.
shoot more threes.
Yeah, shoot more threes.
So that's
JJ Redick, you can shoot threes.
Eight a game
Shoot threes.
was my career high, and I averaged over 18 a game. But my efficiency dropped to 39.7% or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's still mathematically. This is the thing people don't understand. Mathematically, it was better for me to shoot more at 39% than shoot those middies at 49% or whatever I was doing. That's the wild thing about the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and tell you that I definitely have some of our coaches on our coaching staff. They want me to shoot more threes.
They're encouraging.
Yeah, they're encouraging me to shoot more threes. I can't do it. I can't get to that. I can't get to that.
Is it a pride thing? Is it an ego thing?
No, it's not an ego thing. It's not an ego thing. It's like, I'm not putting enough pressure on the defense.
Yeah, you have more value than just airing out threes. Yeah.
You know, if I'm shooting 12, 14 threes a game, I feel like I can hit 6 or 7 of them. You know, if I'm fucking off, then, you know, 3 or 4 of them. But I can shoot high clip that if I'm shooting 14 a game, I'm gonna get in the rhythm. But I'm not putting pressure on the defense, and that's not me.
Right.
I gotta put pressure on the defense. Like if we have the guys already on our team shooting a bunch of threes, which is okay. Like I love that. There has to be some pressure on the rim. I have to put some fear in the defense that you're not about to make me just shoot all jump shots. Even
No, fuck all that. Yeah.
So it's a great point because I think certain players, and you're one of them that can do it with your drives. Luka, same way. James in Houston, same way with his
Ja Morant.
drives. Duncan Robinson, a different way. But certain players can cause an overreaction.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I want to get into that later on. But that's where this conversation is going. But I want to do some stats first. I just want to read you some stats.
You gotta nerd out a little bit. Let JJ nerd out a little bit.
In 2013, 2014, which was the first year of the tracking era, league average 21.5 3-point attempts per game.
Okay.
This year, it's 35 3-point attempts per game. Those numbers, 35, almost 14 more threes a game. Those numbers are as of April 3rd.
Jesus.
The Rockets in 2013, 2014 took 26.6 threes a game.
That's
That was
D'Antoni.
number one. Grizzlies took the grit and grind Grizzlies took 14 threes a game. They were last in the league.
This year, the Nuggets are the number 30 team in three-point attempts per game.
Bro.
They shoot 31 a game. You guys are 29.
29.
Orlando's 28.
Right there. I was about to say we're right
Pistons
there.
are 27. So obviously threes have gone up.
Yeah,
Not
for
all
sure.
threes are created equal though.
No.
Here's some other data that I love this. There's 22 players this year that have taken 150.
All right, so I just grabbed a couple $100,000 from my safes. That's just money that the game just gives to me because I'm awesome. I need that money to buy crates.
Only 4 players took.
Now let's go over there and get some more crates. Hopefully we don't get that stupid errand
Interesting
mission.
thing is-
We don't want that mission. That mission's annoying.
No change in effective field goal percentage from those numbers.
Yeah.
It's still right around 55%.
Oh, I just got another 50,000 in my nightclub.
16 players have taken 150 or more pick and roll threes this year. Luka's number 1 at 361. 6 players took 150 threes or more in pick and roll in 2014-2015. The effective field goal percentage is the same. So by prioritizing the 3, offenses have become more efficient.
Yeah.
What does the threat, this is the overreaction part, what does the threat of Steph Curry in a high pick and roll,
Oh, bro.
Lillard in a high pick and roll,
Oh, bro.
Trae Young in a high pick and roll, Luka in a high pick and roll, what does that do? How does that bend the defense? How does that cause the overreaction?
2 on the ball.
Yeah,
It's numbers game.
I mean, it's, 4-3.
2 on the ball.
Yeah.
If you got great screen setters, Draymond, Capella, whoever Luka is going to have.
Gafford usually, Lively sometimes.
Dame Gafford. Lively. He's learned it quick.
Yeah, yeah.
He's learned it quick. If you have a great screen setter and you have a laser like that who shoots, like you said, over 300 off the dribble pick and roll threes, that's the chain reaction. That's why you have all these guys that shoot career higher percentages with these lasers than they ever do with anybody else because it's the chain reaction. The numbers game is automatic. If you're not up on the screen, you're late. You're going to have 2 on the ball, and those guys are good enough, great enough to play in the pocket. Now it's 4 on 3.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time. Draymond Green's biggest asset offensively for Golden State is his ability to get Steph open, Clay open, but then play in the pocket.
Play in that
His
middle.
asset's 4 on 3,
Yeah.
And now his IQ kicks in. That's the threat. If you can't call
Lively does that a little bit though for Dallas stuff. Like they'll give it to him. They trust him in the paint by himself to facilitate.
That's the name of the game. How
It's
can you call
interesting.
the trigger? Pick and roll, pin down, DHOs, split game. Whatever it is, whatever your portfolio of your team and your player, how can you cause the trigger? Because once the trigger happens, that's when you become successful.
Then it's rotate, and open shot. Yeah.
Last year in the playoffs, Anthony Davis, who you give glowing reviews on this podcast about his ability to be in multiple places at once.
Mm-hmm.
Golden State strategy became high pick and roll with Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get Anthony Davis
Away from the basket.
Right. So going through that
Yeah.
and those adjustments that you guys made throughout that series, because I think an important part of this too was they essentially were playing 2 non-shooters with Draymond and Caban.
Mm-hmm.
And then to open up space, it was something that, in terms of volume, Steve Kerr and Steph Curry had never ran that amount of volume.
Bro, I didn't have a gun out. Motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So what were sort of the adjustments?
I could have just shot his face off.
They had
Ah.
success with that.
This is ridiculous.
Start switching. Because we won. Like I always keep saying, once Draymond gets into the pocket, it is very, very, very hard to now reel it back. You can't allow Day-Day to play in the pocket because he's too damn good. And also what you can't not do, at the same time, if you're the big X5 or X4 and you're guarding the pick and roll, you can't be late on Steph Curry's pick and roll because it's going to be a great screen and Steph is coming off clean.
I suck at shooting the guy.
Have the personnel, which obviously a lot of teams don't. That's why not many teams have beat Golden State in the playoffs, in a playoff series. Got the ability to switch.
You talk about being late on a Steph Curry pick and roll.
hated this play. Hated this play. And when I was on the Clippers, they would just kill us with this. So this.
I like when JJ
oftentimes
curses.
Would be a guy.
Makes me laugh.
Let's say it's Clay. So you're not going to switch. This is the 5-man.
Yep.
He's going to set a down screen at this angle.
Try to clip the 5.
Try to clip the
X5
5.
or X4.
We've talked about this before.
Yep.
Bigs are terrible navigating screens.
For sure. D-word.
So all of a sudden, Draymond, Andrew Bogut, they've
Flying.
now created separation
And
up
they're
here.
flying. Yes.
This defender right here, and again, I'm sorry for drawing the X's as offensive players, but it's just how I do it. This defender is naked. He's on an island.
Right. He doesn't know what's going on. Meanwhile, he's like this the whole
So
time.
now
trying to
this
guard the
big
ball.
is behind this play.
Yep.
He's 5-6 steps behind this play.
Yep.
As Steph comes off here, again,
Motherfucker, bro.
he can shoot this 3, right? He's got the separation required. But oftentimes what would happen is this overreaction from the big to get out.
Steph does like this.
Yes.
And just drops it in the pocket.
Drop it in the pockets. 1-3.
Yep. And now Clay has worked his way out here. You're afraid to leave Clay. And you got Andre Iguodala, Andrew Wiggins.
Oh boy, this sucks.
Munga.
This is not good.
You know
What vehicles are chasing me right now? Because they're gonna catch me.
Shoot this 3.
This van is terrible
As
slow.
This big is frantically trying to get out here.
Yeah, he's done.
The overreaction
Yeah.
to the threat of this.
Yep.
He's going to overcommit, whether it's a shot fake or whether it's just getting out. This defender right here, he's chasing.
He's chasing over.
So now the big has a free run.
Yep. And
Pocket pass.
Draymond pocket pass lob to one of those athletes, and it's over.
I mean, this is the stuff though that in different ways, Damian Lillard gets this. Trae Young gets this. It's.
Yep.
I'm sure there's other guys I'm forgetting, but
Luka.
it's this idea of these high pick and rolls. Because now we see, like, I'm gonna draw it correctly this time.
You have a dry erase board to that.
Now we see pick up points just inside half court.
Yep.
Again, you're asking. First of all, you're asking this guard
Yeah.
to navigate.
They call it the 4-point line now.
Yeah.
The 4-point
And
line.
Secondly,
Bigs are not accustomed. They can't.
this is the thing I just want to point out, because I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it goes back to like the 5-out concept.
Yep.
It's like I love watching basketball. Period. And I love watching any era. I watch games on YouTube. It's like I wish.
Oh, I watch old Olympic basketball games on YouTube all the time. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
They're educational and informative. Wrong. They're educational and informative. Like we would never see this where an offensive team is going this way and 2 players run to the block. We would never see that, right? So now
Yeah, that's over with.
that was the requirement.
Yeah, it
like
was.
for a big. This is the area. Even early in my career, that was the requirement. That's the area you have to cover.
Yep.
Last year's playoff series against the Warriors is a great example. You're now asking Anthony Davis to cover all over here. And by the way, we need you to get back and
And
protect
cover
the
it.
ring. The point in all this is again going back to just spacing and 5-out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're taking. Sorry, I'm oscillating between X and O's, offense and defense. But this is X5 right here.
Yep.
He's got an O and an X. But if you're taking, in your case, by the way, because I've looked up the data on this, you're taking a top 5 to 10 rim defender
Yeah.
all the way out of here.
Right.
You're then relying on no offense, some of the worst rim defenders by percentages
For sure.
in the NBA this
For
season.
sure.
That is the challenge of a modern defense.
That is.
Because there's enough guys, as I just went through this, the numbers, there's enough guys night to night that are shooting out of high pick and roll.
Yeah. And Dallas have 2 of them.
Dallas has 2 of them. Bro, true. Kyrie and Luka can both do that. Shit. They have 2 of them.
The big got to get all over there and do the same thing.
Bro, that's true.
That's what Boston is
Fuck.
so good. That's why you're afraid to even have a big up instead of just switching everything.
Yeah, Boston, another one. They have plenty of guys that can shoot. Damn.
So it's like, what do you do? Like with Trae Young, it's like you don't really want Capella to get behind the defense because that's his niche. He blocks shots. On the other end, he creates havoc by getting a good screen, using his speed to either really sometimes don't even screen because he know the big is going to be up. So I'm gonna slip behind the defense.
Yeah, just get a catch and
So
drop,
it's like-
drop it into the bucket. Easy,
That is
easy
that
dunk.
is a difficult challenge for coaches.
Here's another interesting thing that I found.
Give me the other pen.
Give me the other pin.
I'm gonna go here. In a second. Here's another interesting thing I found about threes. So let's call 18 to 24 seconds on the shot clock. Let's call that early shot clock.
Okay.
Okay. First 6 seconds of the shot clock.
D'Antoni.
In 2014, 2015, the average team for the season took 322 total threes.
Not the Phoenix Suns.
6 seconds.
Wait, was that or was that Houston? No, that's Houston.
Yeah, 14, 15.
14,
Five,
15.
five teams attempted below 200 total threes for the season in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock.
Yep.
Last season's data, that number was up by 100 total threes. Basically 420 total threes.
Yep.
Half the league attempted 400 or more total threes in the first 6
Jesus.
seconds of the shot clock. That's the other thing that has changed the most. Is when you get
Everybody's playing like the Phoenix Suns
stop. And I don't
back
care
in the
where
day.
fuck you are on the court when you get to stop. Where are people running?
3-point line, corners.
Oh,
Run
yeah.
wide.
Run wide.
Yep.
3-point line.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. So these early shot clock threes. You know what the average effective field goal percentage on that is? Same thing, 55%.
Really?
It's a
Huh.
good shot.
Fuck.
It's
I
a
can't
good
wrap
shot.
I can't wrap my head around it.
It's a good shot. A pull-up three on a fast break is a good shot. I mean, it is though. Percentages.
Am I too still like in my ways of
Okay. Hold on a second.
Fuck.
I'm gonna give you something here,
zero
though.
pass shot?
I'm gonna give you something.
We got a green light for
I'm
collect.
gonna give you something. You got guys running wide.
Correct.
Sure.
Running the corner. This is you with the ball.
Yeah.
This is Giannis with the ball.
Yeah.
This is John Morant with the ball.
Yeah.
Space.
What does that give you?
Space. So much space.
Early attacks.
There's a reason that you motherfuckers are
Early attacks.
averaging like 10 fast break points a
Early
game.
attack.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody told me I was second in fast break points the other day. Who did we just play? Oh no, it was Toronto. Yeah, one of their players said, "Man, what the hell are you doing? How are you second?" Because I think they played the night before, so they had a walkthrough in their court. And as soon as the court opened, I get on the court, and one of the players was like, "How the hell are you second in fast break points?"
It's because this is where D'Lo's running to.
Yeah, D'Lo's going to the corner. Austin Reeves is going to the corner. Hachimura's going to the side. They're all getting out of LeBron's way. That's how he's second in fast break points.
They are, yeah. TP, they definitely get to the corners.
Everybody's going to the corners.
So the volume of threes.
Yeah.
The volume of threes. Because I'm talking about not all threes are created equal. But in some ways, the types of threes that offenses are generating are created equal. They have essentially the same value. If we're looking at it through analytics, these
Okay.
type of threes have the same value. The last one I want to get into before we get into just some ways to generate threes for catch and shoot guys. The other one, and I don't have the data in front of me right now, but I looked it up in January, is we've seen it. James Harden ISO,
Ugh, I hate James Harden in ISO.
Kyrie and ISO, right? The step back three, the individual Steph Curry,
Oh,
the
okay.
individually created step back.
Less though with Steph. Steph doesn't do it
Going back
as
to the
much.
Same tracking era, last 10 years. Roughly 33% is the average value, or average shooting percentage of a step back three 10 years ago. Now
Okay.
it's a little over 35%. So it's gone up 2 percentage points,
But
and the volume has gone up.
yeah, the volume's gone through the roof.
Guys are able and willing. Jason Tatum, they're able and willing.
Yeah,
to take
Tatum's a
that shot,
motherfucker with that.
not only more frequently, but at a higher clip. I'm trying to explain here why offenses are good.
Offenses are good and very hard.
This shot is worth 1.5 more than this shot. If you can make it.
Yeah.
If you can make it.
If you can make it.
So what happens when?
So the value of this
What
versus the
happens,
value of this
exactly.
versus the value of this.
So,
Right.
so what happens when
Why do you think you guys are
a
good offense?
Houston Rockets
Oh shit.
miss 25 or 28 straight threes?
Have you seen it happen since?
I have not. I have not. How many did they miss?
27.
27
27.
straight threes.
27 straight
And
threes.
they kept shooting them.
Jesus.
It's not like all of them was only 3-point shooters. It's not like they had fucking 5 Craig Hodgeses on their team. Or
Craig Hodges, good shoot, good callback.
They had guys that
Hodges was a motherfucker back in the day.
You can get to the paint. James Harden, you can get to the paint.
But you're making a valid point.
But why?
You're making a valid point, and I want to acknowledge your point. You still have to be a basketball player. You
Yeah.
still have to read the game.
Yeah.
You
That's
still
all
have
I
to
ask.
understand
That's all I ask.
time and score. So
There's a time and place
There's a-
where analytics
Yeah.
should be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Okay?
There was
True.
a coach that told me this year. He's like, he talks all the time about like managing the game,
Okay.
and he's over there and he's looking at the box score during
Sure.
timeouts, and he's looking at how many threes have we made and attempted versus how many threes the other team has made and attempted. What is their star player shooting from 2? What is the time and score? Do I need to double? All of these things are being like equated or calculated here.
In real time, yeah.
So there is some game management involved. It's not just like
So you're telling me I need to shoot more threes? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, basically, LeBron, shoot more threes.
I would say this, LeBron. You guys, your offense for the first part of the season was not a good offense.
No, we couldn't shoot.
The second you started making threes,
Yeah, we couldn't
you
make
became a
we
top 5 or 6
yeah,
offense.
But we always said like the law of averages is going to even itself out.
Right.
The first month and a half, 2 months, we couldn't hit the side of a fucking cow's ass from 3-point. We couldn't. So, but like you just said, we're 29th in 3 points attempted, but people are complaining while we're top 5 in free throw attempts because that's what we do.
I think there's every team you have to coach differently. Every team based on personnel.
For sure. Absolutely.
The fact that all of a sudden D'Lo became a high volume, high efficiency 3-point shooter halfway through a season, started back in January.
Yeah.
That adds value to the offense.
Yeah, for sure.
Your free throw thing, by the way, I'm not going to get into the discourse right now about the foul thing. But there are
You get your whistles, LeBron. Yeah. LeBron, you get your whistles, bro. Stop it.
And
Oh, we're top of the free throw. Yeah, of course you are. Because you get your whistles for barely getting touched.
free throw line, that creates an advantage. In the same way
Yeah.
that making and taking more threes
Lupe, go get me a crate.
making and
Stop
taking
standing
less
around.
threes creates an advantage.
Well, I mean, Mike D'Antoni was on to something. He knew before.
Mike
he shot.
D'Antoni, yeah. That motherfucker. Bro, let me just say this. This has been... Hold on, pause. This has been a weird fucking, hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. How long have I've been at this most of the morning? 43, 51. Let's call it 4 hours. I've been listening to all the Mind the Game podcasts. I'm on my 6th one right now. As a quasi LeBron hater, it's kind of weird because like he's not. Listen, I like LeBron. I'm starting to like LeBron again. Because he's right about some things, but other things, it's like, bro, you're delusional. You get all the calls, LeBron. You know you get all the calls. You know you get all the whistles. He should. He's the player of this generation. He's that guy. He's him. You know what I mean? Like, he should get the calls. Michael got the calls. Fucking Iverson in between got the calls. Kobe got his calls. The greatest player in the game any given time is going to get their calls. That's going to happen. But, this idea that like, oh, yeah, I mean, we're top of the free throw. Yeah, no shit, you're top of the free throws, dude. Because that's what we do. No, because you're going to get every whistle.
I went in for a shoot around one year. This is like
Stop it.
early stuff, right? And like this is public.
I've really enjoyed this podcast, though, so far. I've been listening to it for 4 or 5 hours now. But, like,
Oh, I know what it was. Keith.
it's hard because I'm still kind of a LeBron hater.
In their locker room.
I'm tortured. I'm torn by this.
After shoot around, and I go in and I walk by the locker room, and they had like LED boards above their locker with like their true shooting percentage. Like all that shit. I was like, oh man, just a constant reminder of whether or not you suck or whether you're gonna. That's amazing.
Get your ass on the practice court right now and get some fucking shots up.
All
That's
right.
funny. That's good.
The last type of three. We've talked about getting 2 on the ball, 4 on 3.
Yeah.
A lot of times that creates swing,
Yep.
get it in the paint.
Yep.
Draymond kicks it out. Those are catch and shoot threes.
Yep.
Stand still, catch and shoot threes.
Yep.
Let's talk about a different type of catch and shoot threes, and that is the movement catch and shoot
Yep.
three. Let's hypothetically say I'm on your team
Yep.
and I'm 4 for 5 from 3. It's the second quarter.
Mhm.
Under 3-minute timeout.
Mhm.
We've got a a 9-point lead, trying to turn into double figures, our ball. You got to drop a ATO for me.
This is the ATO.
Yeah.
We're a pretty good team. I'm on your team.
Yes.
Okay.
We're a pretty good team because I'm on your team. All right, LeBron, relax.
We have a good screening 5-man.
We have a good screening 5-man. Okay. Perfect.
You want to draw it up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's put I'll be here.
All right.
Yep. We'll put 5-man here.
Okay.
You know what? No, we'll start over. We'll put you here, JJ, to start.
All right.
We'll put the 5-man here, same side.
Wait,
of
are
the
they
ball,
doing?
taking it
Hold
over.
on, let me look. Are they doing?
That's the 1 or the 2.
All right.
And then the two-man is right here.
Well, I'm the 2-man.
Okay, so put a 3 there.
Right there.
All right. So on the slap of the ball, simultaneously, JJ, you're going to come to the ball. You're 4 for 5, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You're 4 for 5, right?
X5 or the 5-man's going to screen you, bring you to the ball.
Okay.
At the same time, the 3-man's going to set a cross screen for me, go underneath.
Okay.
All right. As soon as that happens, the 1 is going to throw it over the top to me.
Ooh.
I have to catch it over the top. And as soon as I catch it over the top, because your man is so afraid of you coming towards the ball, what is the first thing a defender does when a ball
Turns his head.
turns his freaking head?
And he moves in towards the paint, giving you space to shoot.
Victory.
Victory. We're going to get you a great
Victory. No, it's Brad Stevens. Victory.
Oh,
This is
called.
this is yeah.
I've run it before too.
Who'd you run it with? Do you remember who the shooter was?
I ran it for
Danny Green.
Danny Green before.
Yes. Because Kerr ran it for Clay for a game winner. I can't remember if it was last year or this year.
Ooh, I like it.
This is a great one.
They're showing clips.
Finch-
Okay, sorry.
Chris Finch loves this one.
All right, we're back.
I don't know that he's run it, but he showed me this when I was with him in New Orleans.
You take the ball off now. 5. 4.
Play one.
And the slap of the ball, pin down for me.
Okay.
I catch it. As soon as that happens, I want the 4 to work his way underneath and just stay there. Look very like you don't know what the hell's going on. Obviously, you already know what's about to happen.
Ah, fuck! It's that mission again.
I bring the ball
You can tell because when it says go to Mirror Park, when it says go to Mirror Park, that means it's Lupe on the phone with her bullshit. And no, we do not do that. Lupe, we're not going to Mirror Park.
Yep, JJ's there. 4 is working his way underneath. Yep, I'll take it off.
3's here.
I just want to run crates. Just let me run crates. I don't need these fucking runaround missions. I think they did this because too many people were just grinding crates. Do you know what I mean? It's meant to slow you down while you're grinding crates. I think on purpose they put in these handful of missions that are extra step missions like this because they don't want people to just straight grind crates like this.
I'm not sure.
It's the game fucking with us.
I like the defense on this side.
Because I like grinding crates. I like it, the monotonous of it, the same old over and over, the routine, the rhythm of it. And then these missions fuck the rhythm up. It's annoying. No, Lupe, I don't want to talk to you. You're the worst.
What's interesting when you think about this, if you remember San Antonio, they would post Boris Diaw right here.
Correct.
And he would legitimately drive and jump out of bounds.
Yes, you do.
And they would do it with Manu too, but Manu would do it over here because he's left-handed. So I think that's one of the reasons I always ran it this way when we run it.
And I think yeah, we stole that from San Antonio at one point. I don't remember what year it was, but Mike Dunleavy was on our team. It's one of my greatest assists I've ever had. And we ran
I hate that mission. Lupe, you go to hell, Lupe. You go to hell and you die.
I believe it was at home in Cleveland.
I hate it.
And I wrapped it around.
If it pops again right now, we're ending the stream. I'm just gonna be honest. Because we're at an hour and a half, and I'm getting annoyed right now. I've had to fucking change sessions like 20 times.
And a lot of times, teams will run it.
Yep.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to force me from filling my warehouse. They're going to try and stop me from filling my warehouse by throwing this bullshit mission in my face, dude. I get what they're doing, dude. I understand what they're doing. They think they're sneaky little shits, but they're not, dude.
Let's say this guy cuts to the middle, 5-man peels out, times it.
Yep.
And then I
Go to hookies. See, that's the same thing. It's the same mission.
it's that weak side.
It's either you go Mirror Park or you go hookies, but it's the same mission. Lupe is going to call me as soon as I get outside. Watch, here we go. Watch.
It's a hammer.
I'm not even grabbing a car.
When I was in Cleveland,
I'm not even going to grab a car. I'm just going to go down in the elevator down to the Exit to the ground. Because watch, as soon as I get outside, here comes Lupe on the phone. Hey, we need you to... No, Lupe. No!
You know, in this angle. So
Bullshit.
They would
I'm
actually,
sick of it.
he would actually slip this string. And the shooter would go here. And my first look is
This bitch again.
And if he's not open, then I have the other shooter.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it here.
He's going to clean that up for the other
That's the
shooter.
end. Those crate grinders like me, if you're a crate grinder like me, you know that bitch is the worst.
So this is a recovery.
Shut up.
The other thing that happens here, so
You know she's the worst. You guys know what I'm dealing with right now. If you ever crate ran, if you've ever done any crate running in your entire GTA career, you know that bitch's phone call is the fucking the death to any rhythm and momentum you have running crates. She's actually the death. Thanks for watching, folks.